Hey, what's up? It's Jason. I am back with a video, and it's been a little while since I did a video actually. In case you guys haven't noticed, I've been a little bit silent on the video tip lately. I'll get into that in a minute for some of those reasons, but it's been about 2 months, almost feels like 2 months anyway, since my last video. I do have some recent pickups to play for you guys or talk about for you guys on vinyl, a couple CDs, maybe even some zines too if we get to that at the end. But yeah, basically, I've been kind of taking a little bit of a break since our country of Canada has been sort of under economic attack, we will say, from our friends to the south. And I guess ever since the president of the U.S. started tariffing and attacking our country, just haven't been as motivated to make videos lately on YouTube. But sort of getting back into the swing of things now. I see that the attacks are worldwide as well, so we're not completely soloed out in terms of the attacks. But enough about that. Let's get into the music. And the music I'm playing in the background right now, which is really cool stuff from Pablo's Eye. This is from Belgium, and just a really cool mixture of sort of jazz fusion, classical, as you hear, ambient, ethereal stuff. This group is totally new to me. It's kind of a collective led up by one guy with a variety of musicians over the years. Started in like the late 80s. And a lot of these tracks I think are actually from the 90s. But this compilation came out on Stroom Records out of Belgium in 2018. I think if I was to do my best of 2018 again, I would probably put this very high up in that list. I picked this up in Toronto last weekend at Invisible City. Killer shop to definitely check out on Spadina, which is across from the other shop that I always go to as well, which is Sonic Boom. So I got some records from both of those shops. Basically, I traded in a bunch of techno records, picked up a few really cool ones here from Invisible City, including this one called Spring Break by Pablo's Eye. Another one that I got at Invisible City is another jazz fusion, spiritual jazz, and another one on the Black Jazz label for me to pick up. It's about only the third one I got on this killer label from the 70s, uh, known for sort of pro black politics and also spiritual jazz and jazz fusion of all sorts. This is Doug Carn, Spirit of the New Land. I think it's like his second or third album on the Black Jazz label. And of course, with his wife, Jean Carn, who also did some singing and disco tracks, etc., in the 70s too. So all these ones here have been reissued, of course, by Real Gone Music. This is a 2020 reissue, and it was a very nice pickup. Comes out also with these handy liner notes too. So yeah, Black Jazz Records, really cool label. So happy to pick that up as well. Then also from Invisible City, I got this cool single, Arp Freak. This is Arp Freak and the Perpetual Singers. Some Dutch, I believe, funk, disco, boogie band. Kind of started in the 2010s, late 2010s. And this is a three-tracker EP. Totally excellent. Kind of reworks or remixes by Another Taste, which is a house disco producer duo, I believe, from Netherlands, associated with this label called Space Grapes. There's a logo for that. But yeah, this is a really cool one. I really dig the B side the most with Father Father and Holy Ghost. And the A side is also good too with Hold the Line 12-inch version. So Arp Freak, kind of a take on Arp Synths and Chic's Le Freak, apparently, with Perpetual Singers. Cool EP. Next up, over across the street, I picked up a compilation, another compilation. This is Sonic. Sonic Boom was the shop, but this is the Surinam Funk Force compilation record. I hadn't really seen this comp, but I've been sort of getting into the Surinam stuff in the last few years since visiting Amsterdam and sort of discovering some of the sounds of this country from South America. So it's a very small country from South America that was like a Dutch colony. I think it became independent in the 80s. And very diverse, multicultural country. and really cool sounds as well. So this is all stuff from, I believe, like the 70s into 80s. Chock full of stuff. About 10 tracks in total, over 2 records. You got Explosion, Eddie Taylor, Ronald Snyder's Astaria, Steve Watson, Jam Band 80. All new to me. I didn't know any of the artists on this comp, but definitely digging it. And this came out on Rush Hour Records, which is a great label / store in Amsterdam, DJ shop. I got some DJ singles, some more DJ disco kind of singles to show. But next up, I will show a nice reissue record I got. This came way of Juno Records of UK. And this is the legendary ESG. Their debut album, Come Away With Me. Well, Come Away With ESG. ESG, of course, classic punk funk band. They were sisters, basically 3 sisters out of South Bronx, New York, and sampled like crazy over the years, from Big Daddy Kane to Beastie Boys to many, many, many more. Wu-Tang, I'm sure. This is a nice reissue on orange vinyl. Plays not bad. I would like to get, an OG or older versions of it as well. It combines sort of the first 2 EPs or singles by ESG onto this first album. Produced by Martin Hannett over in the UK. I guess Factory Records, I think, had sort of discovered these guys or found them in New York and invited them to record. But yeah, classic stuff. Sort of no wave, also associated with the no wave movement because they're on the 99 Records label, along with like Liquid and those kind of groups. So yeah, ESG, happy to get that in the collection. I also got this new single from Techno producer over in the UK called Brassfoot. It looks like this. It's the album cover. This came out on the Trilogy Tapes. This is Trilogy Tapes 99. I wrote on the cover, just so I will know. But 5 tracks by Brassfoot. It's not the first time we've gotten a Brassfoot record. He's a producer from London, doing some pretty cool techno / bass work, and even some ambient, a little bit of ambient experimental as well in this record. So overall, a pretty decent release for 2025. Don't have too many yet from this year, so that will be one to consider for my end of year. And then rounding things out, just got some cool disco reissue stuff, re-edits. This on the Razor and Tape label out of New York. Also has a little shop in Brooklyn. Some cool edits. This is the one with Elato and Simba and Razor and Tape 56. And then also close by, also on Razor Tape, Tom Noble and House of Spirit. Times are changing. This is a great reissue / re-edit of an old forgotten or dusty old disco track, quite loose sort of boogie track. Tom Noble also runs a record shop in New York called Superior Elevation in Brooklyn. Really cool shop. I won't be visiting any of these shops for a while because, as you know, there's a warning basically for anyone outside of the U.S. to not visit the U.S. at this moment. But we do enjoy all the music. Then we got this guy from Melbourne, I believe, Melbourne, Australia, called Sergeant Slick. He's been he's a house producer, DJ from Australia. He's been putting out records for a while now, since 2010s, I think, at least. This is Sergeant Slick Recuts Volume 3. This has got some cool re-edits, versions of Young Hearts and Grace Jones record and Angie Stone single. Last one of the disco reissues, remixes, Coeo. Coeo. That goes by, and this is also on Razor and Tape, and this was a green vinyl edition. Disco reissues here. This one's called the Disco Volante EP, Long Night Ahead, Pajama Stomp, and Like It Is on the other side. And Coeo, Koi, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. Is a disco/house DJ duo from Munich, Germany. Been producing since the 2010s. I've got a couple of records by them. Last but not least, on the vinyl tip, picked up this record. This is some UK techno out of Manchester, I think, this producer. This was a Discogs pickup. FUMU, I believe, is the name of the artist. And this is pretty cool, too. It's some experimental style techno. A little bit of ambient and noise to it as well. So yeah, speaking of noise, I want to show you guys a couple of really cool zines that I picked up. I actually got a bunch of issues by these guys out of Halifax, Canada. It's called Untitled magazine, and first picked it up at a noise show. Contacted them, and they've been putting these out for a couple of years now. Sort of 2 issues a year. Very cool zine. Usually black and white. Well organized and covering the underground experimental and noise scene in Canada and internationally. It's really cool. It doesn't do any reviews of albums. I asked them about that, but mostly interviews. Some reviews of shows, obviously. And one thing I like about it too is that they often get an artist to interview another artist, kind of thing. So you sort of know what they're talking about. Some really cool photography as well in this thing too. So Untitled magazine, I will put a link to it down below if you guys want to order copies of that. And finish off with a couple CDs that I picked up. Now, another reason why I wasn't doing some videos for a while too is I've been buying a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays lately, sort of filling in my collection. Picked up music, obviously, all along the way. But a couple of these CDs I'm going to show you are movie related as well, just because I watched the movie and I'm like, hey, I'd like to get that soundtrack for Johnny Mnemonic. So I picked this up, used. Great movie from the 90s, very 90s futurist. So this actually has some pretty cool stuff on it. Rollins Band, Cop Shoot Cop, Stabbing Westward, and Orbital, among others. Helmet also on this thing. And then I also picked up a copy of this CD. This movie is pretty lame for a John Waters film. It's not one of his best. There's a later John Waters movie from the 2000s called Cecil B. Demented, obviously based on the famous director, I guess. But yeah, the soundtrack is really killer. I mean, it's got a lot of like super short, fast grindcore tracks mixed in with Moby and some hip hop as well by The Locust, I think. I think they're the hip hop one. DJ Class and Mayo, Substance D. Just a lot of stuff I don't know, actually, aside from Moby. But yeah, it goes from electronic into grindcore and hip hop quite seamlessly. And last but not least, some nice techno from Glasgow, I believe. I think this artist is Scottish. Dave Tarrida. This was an album put out in the 2000s. 2001. Came out on Trezor called Paranoid. Pretty good, solid 2000s era techno. Trezor label out of Germany is pretty much always quality. So yeah, Dave Tarrida, Paranoid. That's my update, guys. Hope to see you guys soon on the next one.